Hey guys, Tarke here, and today we've got another Patreon build review. This time we're doing a very aptly Cobra Lash Poison Assassin build for Poisonousfroad. Hey dude, here's the build I've been playing for Delirium League. I crafted most of the game myself and have about 8 exalts at the moment. It's been working pretty well so far. The main problem that I can't sustain mana on bosses, so my single target damage kind of sucks. Haven't been able to get Elrion for the minus mana cost ring craft. I think that might help a bit. I tried anointing Soul Raker, but it wasn't enough. Any improvements or suggestions you can make would be cool if you let me know when you plan on doing the review. Blah, 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 blah. So yeah, let's have a look. I haven't played a Cobra Lash build ever before. Take that with a grain of salt. I have played a Poison Scourge build this league, though. So I'm vaguely familiar with Poison stuff. But the main thing seems to be fixing mana issues. So let's look through the skills, the items, the classical stuff, and then we'll see what we can suggest. So, Cobra Lash GMP, Awakened Unbound Ailments, Deadly Ailments, Valve Toxins, Awakened Added Chaos. Alright, so it's coming along pretty nicely. Withering Step and Power Increased AoE Plague Bearer. Yep, good combo. It's got his Wither Totem. It's got Dash, Fortify Whirling Blades. Dash without Second Wind feels kind of shitty. Flesh and Stone, Enlighten, Herald of Agony, Malevolence. I like this setup a lot. And an Asset to the Spider. Oof. What have we got gear-wise? Let's see. We've got... So he's struggling with Mana Sustain even with a Gemini Claw. Because that's what I was going to suggest, is that maybe he wasn't using Gemini Claws. So he's got 2 Gemini Claws with the Poison mod. And they've got increased Fizz. I don't know if that's more damage than the Poison mod and Flat Chaos. I imagine Flat Chaos and the Poison mod is probably more deeps. Rather than go. But you can just do the... You can stack Fizz or you can stack Flat Chaos. I think Flat Chaos would be a lot more damage. So, I would recraft both of these with Flat Chaos and then the Poison mod. And then if you can get attack speed, great. So the way that I was building my Scourge Arrow bow, the most important stats was obviously the Poison's 100% more damage. Then Flat Chaos. Then I wanted an open prefix so I could craft Chaos over Time Multiplier. And then ideally hitting attack speed on like the bow roll. And I was rolling it with fossils. And I was using Corroded, which makes it more likely to hit the bleed and poison mods, Aberranth to hit Chaos, block Fizz, and Metallic to block something, and the Aberrant blocks out the lightning. Was it Metallic that blocks the Fizz? I can't remember. But I was running Metallic, Aberrant, Corroded. So I would say recraft these. Your damage will go up by quite a large chunk. But that won't... Well, I mean, if you're doing more chaos damage, then maybe you'll be leeching a bit more. So maybe that would help the mana problem. Star Conjures, because he's got the Reduced Reservation enchant on there. And it's just a solid hat. It gives a good chunk of life, gives a bunch of attack, it gives a little bit of crit. Using a really nice Incursion chest. It's got the 111 life, 10% life, solid triple res, then crafted life. If you don't know, you can craft percent life on top of the Incursion percent life. That's a really nice chest with the Chaos Res there. Venomous is how he's getting the asset to the Spider. And then it also gives more Flat Chaos. It gives some attack and cast. It also gives increased ailment damage against any attacked by 3 webs. If you don't want to use Venomous, you can use... Unique Gloves. I was using them on another character. I corrupted them for Despair on hits. Embalmer Gloves. Embalmer Gloves are very cheap. They're very solid. Because they also give Poison Duration, they give Chaos Res, they give Life, Flat Chaos, and they're cheap enough you just spam Val them. I managed to Val Despair, Curse on Hit in a private league, so if I can do it in a private league, you can do it in a trade league environment, so I'd recommend those maybe as an option. For boots... So the Poisons Inflict Faster mod, originally I planned on using this in my build, but then someone made the very good point that Well, it's not really a DPS increase because you're going to be stacking poisons. Now, to be fair, he's doing an assassin, so he's got so much poison duration that it's still kind of a multiplier, but it's not really the best mod. So unless the +2 Chaos Gems, if he's got his Plague Bearer in these boots and the Withering Step, then the +2 Chaos Gems is worth. If he doesn't, I'd maybe consider recrafting these. Chance to get charges on kill, flat chaos, malevolence, reduced reservation. That's a nice Ami. That's actually a really nice Ami. Shame it hasn't got the multiplier on there, but the reduced reservation's letting him run aspects. So yeah. He's got a Despair on hit ring with a bunch of int strength. Shame about the implicit being crit based. That's a nice ring. What's this ring? This ring. A lot of chaos res, a lot of fire res. Decent-ish life. Okay. Then his belt's just good life for triple res. Okay, fair enough. So his gear's pretty solid. Other than the weapons, I would change out the weapons. Life phasing on kill. Where's he getting onslaught from? I would change that for an onslaught jewel. And then I'd just run like a quartz flask. And then flask. Oh, you're already running quartz flask. Yeah, you don't need that. So yeah, just change that up for an onslaught. He did also have onslaught generation on the boots, I guess, as well. But I said recraft the boots. But I guess, yeah, I guess it's whatever. Correlatos, you need to run Correlatos because that's how the build functions. Jade of Warding, Course of Heat, Life of Staunching. Okay, so the gears, aside from the claws, the gear's like pretty fucking amazing. I'd be very, if I had this gear when I played my poison build, I'd been very happy. So let's look in the cluster jewel. What cluster jewel stuff is he using? So skill effect duration is really good on these builds because it's gets increased wither duration. Unspeakable Gifts is okay for 2 points if you just want a little bit of extra clear. Touch of Cruelty gives a bit more damage. Circling Oblivion, Wasting Affliction. Yeah. This is just like full DPS. Then just a life jewel. Low tolerance, Circling Oblivion. The most damage you can get is low tolerance and Wasting Affliction. If you don't need the poison duration, but poison duration is kind of... It's kind of a... Yeah, it's kind of complicated. And then he's using a Chaos Small Jewel. If he was using Divine Flash, I'd say go for it. It does actually cap out his Chaos Res, which is kind of cool. So I guess you can just do it for the capped Chaos. I'd probably rather go for the ailment immunity stuff. So we're trying to boost his mana sustain. He roots at the start here because it's less points. That is... Let's just do a couple of things. So... Ions of full life, boom. Number of poisons on the enemy, let's call it 10. Let's call it 15 withers. Is he poisoned? Yes. Is he blinded? Most likely. Right. Not taking this stuff feels wrong to me. Does he really need that? To remind myself, because I haven't done a poison assassin, to remind myself how this works. Increase poison ratio for each poison inflicted recently. Cover life for poison. Chance for poison. Dot multi for poison. Reduce damage taken over time. Poison inflicts with crit. Still 50% more. So you do want some crit. Yeah. Crit chance per poison. Up to 2%. Gain time some fizzes extra chaos against poisoned enemies. Maybe with the fizzes extra chaos, that might actually be better than going for a flat chaos weapon, but it's really worth looking into. You can put a Thread of Hope in here. If you've got a Thread of Hope here, you can anoint a lot of things. That might save you some points. And he's got the money to spend. I think it's a very large. And that it's either large or very large. We'll have a look, see. Where is it? Not that one. Yeah. So, with a very large there, you can hit Hunter's Gambit. You can hit Swift Venoms. You can hit 20% ailment damage there is not like great. You can hit Hark Evoke, so if you didn't root into like Pathfinder start, you could yoink that still. You can also, so like if you changed the way you routed, so like maybe come along that way, you can then still hit Revenge of the Hunted in these nodes. And then you can also do a large one instead, which then hits some other nodes. If you hit a large one, the large... Did that go through? I don't think that did. See, what does a large one get? The large one's good for if you do it with poison bows, because then you get King of the Hill, Master Fletcher. Asset to the Eagle. Adder's Touch. Which gives the dot multi from crit strikes. And then increased damage with poison. That's with specifically with bows. That's specifically with bows. Not specifically with swords. So you could maybe put a very large Thread of Hope in there. That's maybe something to consider, but might not be worth doing. But I just thought I'd mention it because you can do some interesting things there. Can also put one in here, which is really popular to get phase aggro, but then he needs to move his cluster jewel setup around. I'm really surprised that you're struggling with mana sustain, and they said even with Soul Raker, I would have assumed you would have been fine because on my build I just took mana leech. I just took 1 point of mana leech and was fine. But you could go for Druidic Rite for 2 points. Flash Charge Generation is really good. Flash Charge Duration is really good. You do way less damage as soon as your Correlatos falls off. Like, you lose a shit ton damage. It's really important. It does give you some mana sustain. If you need int anywhere, I know you're solving int on a lot of your gear. Mana Flows is a very solid 2 points for int. It gives a bunch of mana regeneration. You could... Your chest is very good, but you could go for a Warlord's chest with minus 15 mana cost, and that would half your Cobra Lash, which would be huge. You can get minus 9 mana cost on your rings and your Ami. So that... So, okay, if you fix up your... Because all of your current stats have open pre's. So you could just do minus 9, minus 18, minus 27. That would obviously solve the problem. I know you said that you didn't have that unlocked yet. Maybe worth finding a streamer that you trust, who plays in the same league that you do. Maybe someone like Don might have it unlocked. It's pretty trustworthy. And be like, hey, dude, Tarke said... Don't do that. Say, hey, dude, Rise said that I should ask you, do you have the thing? I know I get asked that question constantly, which is always really funny because I play in private leagues. I'd be like, hey, Tarke, can I use your... It's like, dude, like... And now I'm in SSF, I get the same thing. But, like, your tree is really well optimized. I don't think there's much I would change. You have to take this reading for Charisma. Methods to the Manus is great 4 points if you need Chaos Res. Is there any way we could change your tree so that you go Divine Flesh? Since you're near point blank and you already have so much Chaos Res? If we did something kind of like this. Anoint something else. Take this full cluster. Convert that into Divine Flesh. Make you feel a lot tankier. Then you'd come back into here to pick up the life that we dropped elsewhere. I mean, it might just be worth... you lose that on some attack speed from the Gladiator. But it might just be worth going that way. You need more accuracy. Is one thing. Let's go back to your original setup. Because I've fucked around with it a bit. I'm curious what your... Actually, so you got 94% accuracy. 94% is a bit low. I'd probably take this full cluster. This full cluster is very, very strong. I took this on my one. You can also search and trade. Yes, yeah, you can search specifically for just Elrion rings on trade and do it that way. Let's go back to your links. And was that in, yeah, that was in the boots. So I was getting the +2 from the boots. It's kind of a shame that you haven't got faster casting on your Wither Totem, because you don't really have much cast speed in your build. The only cast speed you really got is from coordination. Is there anything we would drop or change about the links? Wouldn't drop Flesh and Stone, wouldn't drop the Herald Wagon, wouldn't drop the Malevolence. I'm really not sure about this dash if you're not gonna have second wind on it, if you're already using Withering Stuff and Plague Bearer. I'd probably drop this dash completely and run faster attacks on your Whirling Blades. At the very least. Yeah, I'll just do that. That doesn't solve that problem, though. Mortal Coil custom can increase duration. Hey, Bubs. Sorry, the cat's trying to get my attention. Do you want to come in the YouTube video? Hey, cat in a YouTube video. Bubs has recently started jumping on my lap. She didn't like being picked up. She's a funny cat. She's getting there slowly. I wouldn't run a Mortal Coil custom can increase duration. If you want to just do custom shaking and Mortal Coil, fine. You could just run a... You could manual... you haven't got enough strength for manual Steel Skin. You could drop the increased duration. Move the Blood Rage to the Immortal Coil into these links. Have Fortify Whirling Blades fast tracks in a 3-link. Move that. Then put faster casting on your Wither. Having 100% uptime on your Wither is the single biggest DPS increase in these builds. So I played quite a lot of Poison Scourge Arrow, and it's night and day when your Wither's there and your Wither isn't there. People, like... Okay, so just to give you an idea, right? So when you go into configuration... You're like, okay, so I've got this much damage. Okay, I've got this much damage. Without the Wither, you lose like half of your damage. You need that Wither up. You need that shit up all the time. So I would really, really recommend putting faster casting on there. But otherwise, there's not that much I would realistically change about your setup. Probably go double low tolerance. Maybe drop Wasting Affliction here for another low tolerance Circling Oblivion one. Maybe recommend go for the ailment immunity thing I tell everyone to do. You can stack more. You're already getting Circling Oblivion Skill of Hydration there, which is good. You're getting that from there, which is good. I'd maybe actually say drop Touch of Cruelty, I was running Touch of Cruelty on my one, but I think I'd probably say drop it, because if you drop it, you could instead get this, which will make things feel better. Whoops. Craft. Chaos. Was it dark? No. I can't remember what everything's called. Unwavering Evil could be interesting, so you're not getting stunned when you're attacking. Could be a solid option. I used that on my one and I liked it a lot. Wicked Pal's definitely locked in. Isn't there one which gives attack speed? It's like 30% damage, 10 attack and cast speed? Or is that on mediums? I might be imagining things. I'm pretty sure there was one which was just like damage, attack, and cast speed. I might be confusing it with something else. Right, okay, I would say go for Wicked Pal and go for the stun immunity, just because you'll feel a bit tankier. Also, and this is pure speculation, but I think it works the way I think it works. If you have Unwaveringly Evil, I'm pretty sure that means your Wither Totem can't get stunned. Which sounds really minor, but as established, you want the most uptime possible on your Withers. Pretty sure that means that your Wither Totems don't get stunned. I'm pretty sure. Because Totems do actually get stunned, and it's really annoying. But yeah, I don't know. I didn't really change that much. So basically, maybe mess around with a very large cluster jewel on this spot. Maybe reroute the tree a little bit to come along the bottom for a Divine Flesh. Look into swapping your Gemini Claws for ones with flat chaos damage. Warlord's Chest. Buy Unveiled Elrion Rings. Maybe recraft your boots, but your gear, honestly, your gear's really good. I wouldn't really change much. You've got it pretty bloody min-maxed. If you get really, really desperate, Druidic Rite mana flows. I don't really know if I'd change anything, which is good. Like, if I'm like, I don't think I would change anything, then that's like, you did good. You did good. Maybe take silent steps. I think really just going in for the Divine Flesh is the final form of the build. You'll lose out on some life, but the survivability you'll gain, and you're already like capped Chaos Res anyway, pretty much. You'd have to cut some points from elsewhere, but yeah, I don't know. Good build, basically. I'm gonna play something very similar. When I'm done with my bleed boy, I want to play another poison build. If my SSF RNG continues and I can get my hands on a Darkscorn, or when I'm crafting my I'm trying to craft my Elder Bow. For bleed, I accidentally hit like an insane poison bow, or like I get like a thicket drop or something. I want to remake my poison build because I had a lot of fun on that character. If I get a second cooldown point, I'm going to do poison BB. But yeah, poison's really good. Play poison. Anyway, I'm Tarke. Have a good day. Good luck with the mana sustain, by the way. Bye-bye.